at the other end of the world in more ways than one. This nation was at war for 30 years, and only in the last few months has emerged from civil war, and they're now discussing the first election in a long, long time. We are at the end of the world, and we have with us our chief engineer from Indianapolis, Indiana, Doug Garlinger. He's going to tell us how he communicates down here. Doug?
Well, we're very fortunate to be able to communicate by ham radio from on board ship. And we happen to have a number of our engineers back in Indianapolis and in the other stations in Indiana are ham radio operators as well. So we have a ham station set up at TV40 for the hams to use there, and we can talk directly to Channel 40 and to the hams and the engineers that are at Channel 40.
Now, yesterday you were talking to several people up there.
Yes, I talked to a couple of the other engineers that work for me, and just able to talk as clearly as it was.
They brought your wife in?
Yes.
Yeah.
They brought my wife and they brought my mother in both on the telephone, so I could talk to both of them. Both of them were a little worried about how things were going down here.
Sure, they would be.
This is a very difficult country to get anything done in. There's a lot of authority here, but sometimes the right hand does not always know what the left hand's doing.
Tell us about these antennas right up above our head here. Well, what do these antennas do?
This is what's called a 3-element tri-bander, and it works on 3 of the amateur bands. There's many amateur bands, but this works on 3 of them: the 10-meter band, the 15-meter band, and the 20-meter band. And it has the effect of taking the 300 watts or so out of the transmitter and multiplying it by 10 in the direction that we want to transmit. So it just makes our signal stronger in the one direction.
And now, are we still talking about a ham radio?
Yeah, this is for ham radio.
Now you have other means of communication besides ham radio.
Yeah, they have a regular commercial marine radios on board, but the amateur radio is very convenient for the crew itself to pass along personal messages, for the crew members to be able to talk to their family members back in the United States. So it's just
it's free.
And it's free, and it's been a blessing, a real blessing to the crew members, and of course to me and to Ken, it's been a real blessing.
Now we just put this in order to contact this ship.
Yeah, we put it in kind of as a service so that we could help the people on board the ship, and we could keep track of where the ship was.
That's right, because in a few days it's going to be at sea, and it's going to take them, they said 50 days coming over.
Yeah, I think they probably could have made a little better time, but it may be a little less than that going back if they're going back to Lake Charles.
Now what did we have to pay for this new equipment?
The equipment back at the Channel 40?
Yeah, that's right.
We put about $3,500 in that ham radio equipment, and it's some of the very best equipment available on the amateur bands.
Isn't that something? Some of you that think you love missions, why don't you say, I'd like to purchase that for you. I'd like to pay for it for you, because it goes to the ends of the earth to bless humans, and it's such a small amount of money.
It really is. On a commercial basis, the same type of equipment would easily cost 10 times as much. But since the main purpose of this equipment is really just to help the people and to be a blessing to the people for communications, we're able to use the ham bands. And so we're glad to do it in Indianapolis, and we'll probably be handling a lot more information and messages for the people on board the ship back to their loved ones in the United States.
So,
in Guatemala, I should say. There are many Guatemalans on board here.
Yeah, and they can communicate also.
Well, at least they could send messages back, and we could get messages to Guatemala.
And so, we live in an age of marvels and miracles.
It is. It is just amazing. You cannot. It's very difficult to get a telephone line out of this country. It's not impossible. But we can come up here at certain times of the day, sit down, and talk to Indianapolis, Indiana, just like the gentleman was sitting next to me. It's quite a blessing. It's very nice.
Isn't that wonderful? We hope we have a real good feeling toward blessing people around the world, and especially our good ship Spirit here that moves from nation to nation, carrying hundreds of tons of food. Now that's an underestimate, because it brought over 5,000 tons.
5,000 tons. I've sat here for the last several days watching the unloading and filming the unloading, and the amount of food is just unbelievable. And then I went over to the warehouse yesterday and saw several, 3, 4 warehouses full of food that's been taken off of this ship.
That's right. And we want to share that with the other churches of this community and with hospitals and children's homes and all kinds of places. We have plenty for everybody.
Yes, and the hospital, I understand that the 17-bed hospital will be one of the most, it will be the most modern hospital that this nation has. So it is.
We say God bless this land, and we sure appreciate you coming to the bottom of the earth to talk to them.
Well, I'm just delighted to have the opportunity to come here and just to be a part of this. When you're on this ship, it's such a peaceful spirit.
Yeah.
I guess that's why it has the name that it does, but it's a wonderful place to be.
You can feel harmony from the top to the bottom on this ship.
Yes. It's a very nice place, and I've been staying on board here, and I've been grateful.
And George, to my amazement, wants to sleep on the ship.
Yeah, I think he's been here now 2 nights since he's been in the country.
Yeah.
Well, it's the spirit on the board, the spirit that I think is so attractive.
Yeah, well, he likes it very much. Well, we're delighted to share with you, and we know that you appreciate it. God bless you.